Tsogo Sun owns Southern Sun hotels and a number of gaming venues, including Monte Casino, north of Johannesburg. It has a market cap of 22.6 billion rand. Tsogo Sun's key shareholders are Hoskin Consolidated Investments and SAB Miller. Tsogo Sun has a price to earnings ratio of 14 and a dividend yield of 3%. Looking at Tsogo Sun, SAB Miller coming up there once again. We're looking at they're just everywhere with the Sun stocks. Paul, your thoughts on Tsogo Sun?
Well, I guess it was because in the 1970s and 80s, as they were generating a surplus, they sort of invested in other related areas that they thought, and some of those have been unwound. But Tsogo Sun is in fact the combination of the sort of Southern Sun's element within SAB Miller and the Gold Reef business, which was independent and listed and owned Gold Reef Casino. So they put the two together. So they've got good hotel properties in Southern Sun and Intercontinental and all those other things. Plus then the gaming or gambling venues, Monte Casino is the largest. So they totally dominate the Gauteng market. But gambling in this country, tightly regulated. Government wants more tax revenue from this sector. So that's causing some anxiety. The payout ratios are tightly controlled, but as you know, of course, gambling, it's all about control and licenses in order to try and maximize the tax take. Because when it comes to gambling, you know, you don't even feel good after you drink a couple of beers. Gambling, there's nothing nice about it unless you win. And the payout ratios are what they are. They're tightly controlled. I don't think there's much to be said for the gaming industry other than that it's one of humankind's kind of weak spots, and you've got to try and manage it in some way or another.
Yes, so a bit of pressure coming through for the gaming industry. When you look at Tsogo Sun and the share price, it's something to be getting into right now.
Personally, from our point of view, no. We think, you know, that the gaming industry has seen its, I wouldn't say its best days, but it definitely has plateaued. The novelty seems to be wearing through, and they are becoming a lot more tightly regulated, and there's always the risk to licenses going forward. So, you know, we're not a huge fan of the hotel assets. We think they're decent assets within Gauteng, but we have so much excess capacity, particularly within Gauteng. You can look at the what's the right word I'm using? The rates of people staying in the hotel. It's come down quite a bit. Occupancy rates. Lost for words today. The occupancy rates are down from sort of the 80s down to the 60s, and there's still more capacity coming online. You know, there's a Grayston Hotel being built by Sun International, which is coming up. So from our point of view, I just think no, it is slightly expensive, and the liquidity is also not great.
Like you're saying, occupancies are quite low. Consumers are still under pressure here in South Africa.
Yeah, look, I think the liquidity issue is a concern, and it's because of those two big block holdings, sort of 35-36%. I thought HCI might unbundle its stake in Tsogo, but it appears not, because I'm thinking now the reason HCI doesn't want to do that is that they probably think that breweries is a seller in due course. So maybe only once they've got 70% of it, then they may do something. But yeah, look, it's got nice new management. The old management team was sort of Jabo Mabuza on the one side, and then the Gold Reef management all were like oaks in their 20s. Now Marcel van Olok looks like a solid sort of operator. So now I think they're quite well positioned, and they've got good scale, and they've got good market cap and visibility. So they may begin to do something more with the business. But what would be keeping me away would be the uncertainty about the tax revenues that they want to impose, or the extra taxes they want to impose on the gaming industry, which could be negative for their margins.
So hot or not?
No, not hot for me.
Yourself, Mark? Hot
Same.
or not?
No, also not.
So two not hots on Tsogo Sun.